Hello and welcome to Hermon High School as we have a quarterfinal matchup in the postseason pod tournament between the number 7 ranked Orono Red Riots with a 4-8 record and the number 2 ranked Hermon Hawks team as they are 8-4 coming into this contest. Brian Stackpole, Jim Churchill with you. It's a great coaching matchup too. Chris Cameron's here and also Coach John Donato, the long-term coach in this Central Maine region. Without further ado, we're going to sit it down courtside where James Churchill is down with the legendary Coach Donato.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. Here with Coach John Donato of the Orono Red Riots. And, Coach, obviously a very different season here in 2021. You've seen a lot of them.
Right.
Just tell us what it's been like for you.
Well, it's so hard because, we didn't have a long preseason, and some of the rivals we didn't play. We played within our county, which is the Penobscot, and we played some C schools and some A schools. So it's been different. But at least we're playing, and
that's right.
And that's the important thing.
All right, and talk about the matchup here tonight against Hermon.
Yeah, we played them twice. Two of our better games has been with Hermon. And, they're a very quality team. They're a tournament team from last year with a lot of veterans. I just hope we can just stay with them as long as we can. Every minute we stay with them is a plus on our side.
I'm smiling underneath this.
I know. I am too.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right. Brian, back to you.
And again, Coach Donato has been with this program for 4 years, but he told me in pregame 45 years total, a lot of different stops across the map. But his coaching counterpart is a very successful coach, and none other than Chris Cameron, who's also standing courtside with our Jim Churchill.
Thank you again, Brian. Coach Chris Cameron of the Hermon Hawks. Coach, one of the higher seeds here in the regional pod postseason. Just talk about how your team was playing down the stretch. How do you feel about it?
Everyone, coaches always say you want to be playing your best basketball down the stretch at the end of the season, and I think the last couple of weeks we've kind of hit our stride and have been playing our best basketball. So hopefully that'll continue this week and next week.
And you got just one senior on this team, so it's taken a lot of contributions from some young players. Just talk about their development and some players who have kind of taken that next step.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think like every team this year, the development has come a little bit later. It's been a little delayed. But, I was quarantined for a couple weeks. We've had a couple players, another coach out for a bit of time. So it probably wasn't until halfway through our shortened season anyways that we started to really get everybody in the gym for practices, all 10, 11 of our players, all our coaches. So after we got that, we started to work together, and, we added a new piece with a couple pieces with the Lehman girls coming over. So it took them a little bit of time to understand our system, understand our sets, and us to kind of understand them. And, it's been coming together nicely over the last couple weeks.
All right, Coach. Well, it's a little brisk outside. Good night to be in a nice warm gym. Have fun tonight.
Great. Thank you.
Brian, back to you.
Thanks, Jim. Great to hear from the coaches, and I want to let you know that this broadcast is presented by First National Bank. Dream first because you can. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We have to step aside, but we'll set the matchup up for you further when we come back on this high school basketball tournament matchup on Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket. Back at Hermon High School for this quarterfinal matchup. It's number 2 ranked Hermon versus number 7 Orono. And as Coach Nato alluded to, very close contest last time these two teams played, and actually both of the two contests that these two teams faced off against one another, a fairly tightly contested matchup, which is hard to say sometimes when this Hermon team's on a roll.
Yes, indeed. And as Coach Cameron said in our pregame interview, they've kind of hit their stride here late in the season. And you could sense in the words coming from John Donato, the head coach of the Red Riots, he knows he's up against it here tonight and obviously playing a little short-handed, but they have played two of their best games against the Hawks here in this season.
The Hawks, however, are really picking it up at the right time. I spoke with Coach Cameron earlier in the season, and he had just come back from some of the issues concerning COVID, which has been the overarching storyline, I think, throughout this season. And he said it was the first game that they were playing back all together versus the Hamden Broncos earlier on, and then everything started to click for them since they've just lost one game ever since being back as a full unit early in the season.
Yeah, and again, a very young team, as I mentioned, with the coach, just one senior, and she's a transfer in here, so we'll salute her later on in the broadcast. But a young squad here for Coach Cameron. Obviously, they won the North last season, took a dramatic shot from Charlotte Karen. We'll see her play here tonight against John Baps in the quarterfinals, but they were the North champion, and a chance to have some fun here in this regional postseason.
And as we know, Jim, whenever you get to a postseason matchup, anything can happen. It doesn't matter what's happened before on paper, what's happened in the playing surface out here on the court. Everything can be completely different once both teams get underway.
Yes, indeed, and I'm sure we're going to see some examples of that here in this very different postseason in 2021, and who knows? We'll see what happens here tonight for the Red Riots.
Well, I'll let you know that this game brought to you by Down East Toyota, your all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive headquarters on Wilson Street in Brewer. All roads lead to Down East. We'll take a quick break. We'll get you our starting lineups and the tip-off when we come back as you're watching high school basketball on Ticket TV. National anthem has been played, and it's time to get things underway here from Hermon High School. We'll do our starting lineups. First, for the number 7 ranked Orono Red Riots, they'll have number 5, the senior Alyssa LaBelle. Ellie Pierce, number 13, the senior, also gets the nod today. Number 21, Hannah Sinclair, gets the start as well with the absence of Bell in the lineup. You also have number 25, the junior Emerson Walston, and number 33, Chloe Labrie, the junior, there for the Red Riots. For the Hermon Hawks, a fairly similar lineup to what you've seen throughout the season. Number 1, Jade Lehman, a sophomore. The sophomore, Allie Cameron, wearing number 3. Number 11, Maddie LaBelle, the junior. Another junior in Sydney Gallup at number 12. And number 23, junior Megan Tracy. Of course, Hermon will be wearing their white uniforms, clad with the yellow and blue trim, maroon and white, predominantly maroon for the Red Riots of Orono. As they'll try to get that one in underneath, and it's a quick steal. Coming out the other way are the Hermon Hawks, and we are underway from Hermon High School.
Good read defensively there by Maddie LaBelle. She saw that pass coming her way, stepped right in the passing lane, picked it off.
Three-point shot buried by Maddie LaBelle as the junior gets things started off for the Hawks.
That's how you start a ball game. You make a great defensive play at one end of the floor, come up with a steal, get things started for the offense, and then you end up with an open three on the left wing, and you drain it.
So a quick early 3-0 lead for this Hawks team, who really has started to hit their stride recently. We'll talk about it more as this broadcast goes through. They try to get into Labrie, a quick foul. First of the contest, as Hermon will get that one charged, I believe, probably to number 12, Gallup, here underneath.
See a good look at LaBelle teeing that one up from the left side, all net.
They'll knock the foul instead on Tracy as it'll be inbounded underneath the Orono basket. Quick bounce pass, good deny there from Lehman, and then stepped out of bounds after that ball was corralled by the Orono player.
Yeah, tough there for number 25, Emerson Walston. You're starting the inbounds pass, or inbounds play, I should say, and get ready to step inbounds. The basketball's coming your way. You're gonna try to make a play there, just instincts.
LaBelle's nice pass in. Gallup off the glass and in. 5 quick points for the Hermon Hawks.
Yeah, and a couple of wide open looks, one from outside the arc, that one from just to the left side of the rim, and a very easy two. Nice use of the left hand there by Gallup.
Walston gets it inside. Orono tries to work it in, instead goes out, mid-range to deep jumper, and that's going to be up and through. Hannah Sinclair with her first basket as well for Orono.
Yeah, that's a big hoop right there for John Donato's team. You don't want to get down big here early, and nice to get a little momentum on your side after the 2 buckets for Hermon.
Back out 3-point attempt, Allie Cameron. That one off the back iron. Rebounds pulled down in one by number 25, Walston. See what Orono can do here after getting their first basket last offensive opportunity. Running the point is number 5 and LaBelle, Alyssa. Now switch the top. Labrie comes out from underneath. And there's going to be a violation there, 3 seconds in the paint.
When we take a look at these 2 schools going at it here tonight, Brian. Orono High School, enrollment approximately 330. Principal Reg Rulin, athletic director, longtime AD Mike Archer.
Nice little burgeoning athletic program there for many years. Excelling on track and field, but also pretty good basketball programs over the years. This jumper up and through, as that'll be Jade Lehman's first basket of the contest as Hermon extends the lead back to 5.
Yeah, Jade transferring in along with her sister here to Hermon. She's got a lot of upside. She's performed quite well here in her first season as a Hawk.
Ball batted around to Chloe Labrie. She cleans that one up nicely for 2 off the window. 3-point game once again, 7-4 our score. They work it underneath to Tracy. Cross-court pass. Here's the drive in. Up. The little runner's no good. But they'll reset after getting the rebound. A Lehman 3, and that is up and good. Another bucket there. Jade Lehman already with 5.
Yeah, good work there by Maddie LaBelle to keep it alive at the offensive end and found Jade wide open on that right wing.
And now we'll see what Orono can do to battle back. It's about keeping the game fairly close in this quarterfinal matchup because you know the Hawks desperately want to go into the semifinals, much like the Red Riots, as they work it into Labrie. Right block, good up and under. Loses the handle, but re-corrals it. They'll reset. Here's the top of the key 3. Walston has it clang off, and there's the rebound out. Tracy outlets it. Cameron cross court. Gallup now with it. Swings it back to Gallup in the corner. Hawks swing the ball around the perimeter. Here's LaBelle's little mid-range jumper from the baseline. No good. Tracy, though, with a rebound to keep it alive for the Hawks. Hermon with great ball movement all throughout this season. Another jumper and another bucket hit from the sophomore, Jade Lehman.
Yeah, she is feeling it right now. A couple of jumpers from that right baseline and obviously the long 3 as well, and a 7-point start here for Jade Lehman.
And a quick timeout with 4:15 left to go in the first. 12-4 our score. Hermon on top as you're watching high school basketball on Ticket TV. Back underway. Quick turnover forced by the Hawks. Lehman dishes it out to Cameron. We're back underway. Brian Stackpole, Jim Churchill here on Ticket TV. We appreciate you joining us. Hawks already up by an 8-point advantage, 12-4 the score. Gallup foul line extended. It's the Hawks again, good perimeter passing throughout this contest in the early stages.
We'll mention this is just the first of 2.
As Tracy buries the baseline jumper for her first basket of the contest.
Yeah, the Hawks have come out with their shooting sneaks on here tonight. Yeah, game 1 of a doubleheader from Hermon High School. Coming up next, a 4-5 matchup between the Hermon Hawk boys and the Old Town Coyotes.
Deep 3-pointer. It's going to be off the right side of the backboard. Good attempt there from LaBelle, but off target. Now Gallup as the Hawks flying down the court. This one off the window and in. Great passing resulting in another 2. Gallup up with 4.
Yeah, had a couple of choices there. Hawks flying, obviously that works. Stack, nice use of that, but Sydney galloping up the floor as well.
Well, the Hawks on top by a 16-4 score. Another timeout called by Coach Donato. We touched on the Orono perspective. We can also look at Hermon High School as we enter this fray here.
Yeah, enrollment approximately 500 here at Hermon High School. Brian Walsh is the principal, and Rick Sinclair has been very helpful getting us set up for this twin bill, the AD, former Hawk himself.
A lot of great athletic directors, but we have 2 Class 1s here today in Mike Archer and Rick Sinclair, respectively.
They're
for
all
Orono
classy.
And Hermon. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
am not going to say any of them are not classy.
No, but I want to give a shout out to both of them. They do a great job throughout this eastern and central Maine area.
Quick start for Jade Lehman. We're going to focus on her in just a second here. So we get back to the action.
Orono back with the ball, trying to cut the deficit down. Currently sits at 12 points. Sinclair gets her pocket pick. LaBelle comes out with it. The long pass to Allie Cameron. She gets this one a little delayed, and it's blocked underneath. Give that one to Labrie, swatting it away and saving 2 points away from Hermon.
Yeah, good job there by Labrie, hustling back to defend. Her team down by 12. They need every stop they can get here in the early going to try to stay close in this one, and just a tremendous effort there.
A Red Riot swarm underneath on the inbound pass. Stays with the Hawks, however. Now the quick inbound is into Lehman, off the glass, and it rolls through again. Jade Lehman, have yourself a first quarter.
Yeah, good awareness, too, on the inbound pass there. Jade Lehman got the inside position on the Orono defender, and just a little simple bounce pass and a left-handed layup.
2 minutes and change left on the first quarter clock. Labrie swings it around to Sinclair. Sinclair just at the elbow, trying to drive in, being harassed by Hawk players. Now it's going to be reset at the top of the key. Walston looking for something. It's been a little while since the Red Riots have scored here as of late. Ball was picked up, then Pierce tries to throw it back to the top. It's going to be intercepted, intended for Walston. Gallup's going to be fouled as she gets 2 free throws coming up. Denied the opportunity for 2. 18-4 our score. Gallup heading to the line. Gallup will have 2 shots. First one is missed. Hermon, a traditionally pretty good free throw shooting team.
Let's take a look at Sydney Gallup here, number 12 from Hermon, Maine. Take a closer look at Sydney here in just a second.
Second free throw is good. 19-4 our score now. 1:50 left to go in this first quarter of play. 3-point attempt. That one's a high arcing shot. High bounce as well. Last touch, I believe, underneath by the Orono player. So we see the Gallup graphic once more.
Yeah, favorite sports team, U.S. women's soccer. Favorite athlete, Alex Morgan.
Very similar to me. Anything chocolate's her favorite food. Takes the jumper. Misses, a rare miss for her. Rebound attempt underneath. It's going to be tied up. Pierce was in on that one. Actually, it's going to be a foul called on Hermon. So it'll be Orono basketball with 92 seconds left on the clock. Be LaBelle's first. Team's second here as well. For Orono, right here, it's just about scoring a basket or 2 before the end of the break. Trying to get some confidence moving into this matchup against a very game Hawk side. They try to work it in underneath. It's back out. Sinclair pull-up jumper. It's going to be nothing but net.
Yeah, once again, a big shot there for Orono. Just trying to, at this point, not just stay in this game, but get something going at the offensive end. But Hermon executing so well in the half court, getting some easy looks, some good looks at the offensive end of the floor.
Lehman is over double digits now. She is up to 11 points. Was remarking with Coach Cameron before how earlier in the season she was just averaging 5.5 points per game. Entered today's contest averaging 12.6. Down on the ground are a couple different players. It looks like LaBelle underneath and also Labrie. Results in Orono keeping the ball with 41.3 seconds on the clock. Orono will inbound the ball. We are back underway.
We are high above courtside here at Hermon.
I like this vantage point, though.
Yeah, this is, we're hovering right over the floor.
You could say it's a hawk's nest as the three-point shot is up. It's going to be just rattled off. Good attempt there, but unfortunately unable to go and be successful for Walston. And the quick passing again results to another bucket for Lehman by way of Gallup for 2.
Yeah, Sydney Gallup, very unselfish. She had an open layup from the right side of the basket, but saw her teammate Jade Lehman, who's off to the quick start, wide open on the left side, and Jade picked up 2 more points.
Tracy with a deflection out of bounds with 5.3 on the clock in the first. It's been all Hawks early in this one. They came out like they were ready for this postseason matchup. Here's the inbound pass. Labrie, elbow jumper up. No good. Rebound by Tracy.
Oh,
a long lead.
Look at that.
Won't get it off in time, but we'll hit the basket. Won't count. We'll keep it here right now at the break. 23-6, Hermon on top. An emphatic first 8 minutes of game action for the Hawks girls basketball team.
Yeah, a lot of players involved as well, and a player has been doing a great job on the glass is Megan Tracy. You see the outlet right there to Allie Cameron. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 passes, and the easy deuce right there for Jade Lehman, who I believe is up to 9 points. Am I correct?
Oh, more than that. She's at a baker's dozen.
Oh, wow. And there is Jade Lehman, now of Hermon. Favorite sports team. This is interesting. Iowa Hawkeyes. There has to be a backstory there. Favorite athlete, Paige Buchers. I must say, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't know who Paige Buchers is.
UConn freshman. One of the best players in America right now.
Oh, okay. I just watched, what is it? Beckers. I'm sorry. I just watched a feature on her last night in the background.
Yep.
And favorite class, chemistry.
Oh, that's something that's...
Give us that again, Brian. Favorite food, baked mac and cheese. Next to basketball, soccer, and playing at ESPN Wide World of Sports in Florida. So,
chemistry was not my favorite class by any means. History more so, but I always give kudos to anybody who can excel in the science field.
Yeah. So this is how I consume my sports and sports center. It's in the background. I mean, I was gravitated to it because I was watching the highlights. I can see her right now, Paige Beckers. But it just wasn't all connecting for me, and I haven't been following as much of the women's side this year just because everything has been so discombobulated.
That's the difference between you and I. I consume horror mystery documentaries in the background.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I go to sleep normally at night. It says a lot about me.
Horror? Oh my gosh, I couldn't sleep.
Another block here. LaBelle comes out with it. Another foul will be called. It'll be the third one on the Hermon side. Just a little bump underneath. It's one of the renewed things we've seen from a lot of the officials on the college and high school ranks. You can touch the player driving in and dribbling one time. The second time you touch them, it's going to be an automatic whistle. Inbound pass. Walston will swing it around. Here's a corner three for Orono. In and out. Looked like it had a chance. The follow-up's no good. Third time's the charm as LeBrie gets that one up for two.
Once again, good effort there by number 33 in maroon here for the Red Riots, working the offensive glass.
Here's the three-point shot for Hermon on the other side, and that one goes through for Karen as she hits the trifecta to extend it up to 26-8.
Now, when we get to Charlotte Karen's Meet the Hawks graphic, I want to see what her favorite basketball memory is, because my favorite basketball memory of hers was a big shot she made against John Babs at the Cross Insurance Center last year.
LaBelle driving in. Going to be a little push-off foul underneath. I think Cameron's going to be charged with that one. So many great moments that we lost this year without the actual tournament, but
there it is.
A way to get it back a little bit.
Quarterfinal game versus John Babs. She hit
go.
a three to send it into overtime. Favorite class subject, business now.
And Jason
I
Tatum
like that.
makes some sense.
Can't go
there.
wrong with JT.
Another steal, Lehman swings it over. There's Wyman. Can't get it to fall down through. A little too hard off the glass. Good to see Wyman back, though. She had suffered a shoulder injury, but back and up to 100% here for the Hawks.
Yeah, she's got a bit of a brace on that left shoulder.
Carry will be called on Orono. That'll be another turnover as Walston just palmed it a little too much underneath. 6:20 left to go on the clock here in the first half. It's been Hermon dominating, soaring over the competition of Orono so far.
There you go again.
I try to do those a couple of times. I don't know how to really do that for the Red Riots, though. Top of the key three. Cameron, nothing but net there as it finds its way through. First basket for Cameron, extending the lead up to 29-8. As they're on the precipice of getting that 30-point mark already in this first half.
Yeah, and the good news for Coach Cameron, while Jade Lehman is obviously having a tremendous game, a lot of other players are getting into the act, and excellent shooting here in this one for the Hawks.
And even better, more impressive passing. Another Karen three from the wing. That one's off the front rim, maybe even the side. Good rebound pulled down there by Ellie Pierce. And here comes Orono.
Yeah, great job there by Ellie getting that inside position and warding off the Hawk.
Little miscommunication results in another turnover. This one up, Gallup down the court. Left-handed layup is good. She's got a nice 7 points for her efforts in this contest. And another timeout will be called by Coach Donato and the Orono side as his team trails 31-8 with 5:12 left to go in this first half.
All right, let's meet another Hawk here.
Ellie Cameron. Favorite athlete, Kobe Bryant. Of course, we had that remembrance of a year ago of his passing here. And favorite basketball memory, her three-pointer versus John Babs in the same
No,
conference.
Charlotte Karen's three-pointer.
Oh, that's right. So it's
gotta
the
love
same.
that.
Back-to-back. That's a consummate teammate.
Right. Favorite food, she loves those breadsticks at a certain chain restaurant. I do enjoy them. At that restaurant, the Olive Garden, the breadsticks and the salad, that's good enough for me. I don't need anything else.
Can't go wrong with the pasta, though.
Now, you were a journalism major at UMaine, Brian, so English had to be something that followed you throughout your academic career?
A little bit. I just try to speak the language as best as possible.
Okay, that's the attitude.
So after the quick timeout, both teams back out there. Orono resets everything in the backcourt. Trying to get over into double digits now. See if they can accomplish that. That'll be the first step to trying to come and clinch their way back into this contest. Walston gets it right around the foul line, extended beyond the perimeter. Then back and reset to Pierce. Walston again, dribbling towards the right side. Look for a three-pointer. Instead tries to work it in underneath. It's swatted away. Long lead pass. Wyman up. It in for two.
Wow, what an assist right there for Jade Lehman. Talk about a lead pass. Just put out there into the front court perfectly by Lehman. A perfect touch, and Wyman could step right into it, pick it up, and take it to the rim.
Three-point shot is off the mark. Rebounds pulled by Wyman. Long lead pass to Jade Lehman, looking for her first basket of the second quarter. She will be fouled and a chance to get those points from the stripe.
And guess who returned the favor? Wyman with the lead pass right there.
As we see the Wyman bucket after the last assist from Lehman. Now we'll see what Lehman can do from the stripe. Faith Coombs also entered the game, by the way. She's the only player who's been playing for Hermon so far who has yet to score, albeit in very limited action as she just checked in. This shows you how good this Hermon team has been in terms of scoring baskets all across the board, really. Two for two is Lehman. LaBelle checks in. Lehman will check out, by the way.
Should get a well-deserved break.
And we'll get another LaBelle in here, spelled a little differently. As the Hermon LaBelle, Maddie LaBelle, checks back in.
Lebel.
Here's Alyssa LaBelle spinning just out beyond the block. She'll get it back over to her teammate. Pierce driving in. Almost picked away. It is knocked finally into Hermon's possession. Gallup to LaBelle. Darts through the lane, up and in. Another bucket there for Hermon. Another 2-point basket here as they've been darting and diving through.
So Maddie LaBelle, who scored the first points of the ball game with a 3. Very much involved here in the last minute or so. Favorite sports team, Boston Celtics. Another big fan of Kobe Bryant, fan of math. Favorite food, rice from Kobe. That would be the Kobe restaurant. Soccer fan as well. What was her favorite? I didn't quite catch it there.
Scoring a goal in a soccer matchup, I believe. It's my claim to fame as well. This one, Labrie goes up. There's going to be a foul, I think, on the first shot.
Playing in a state game, so that would have been last season for the Hawks. Against Wells. Wells winning that game at the Cross Insurance Center, but tremendous season for the Hawks. And I guess it would have been 2019, 2020. Things are a little murky for me when it comes to time and what year it is. And
we're back in March again, Jim. It seems like we were just there.
That's when it all started.
Gallup swings it around, back to the top of the key. Here's the drive, and Faith Coombs gets that one rejected by Labrie underneath. Here comes Orono.
Actually, it started a little bit earlier than that, but it really hit everybody in March of 2020.
Getting to the one-year anniversary of all the sports teams and leagues starting to shut down here. About another week or so. Good penetration there, but then again, knocked out of bounds by Gallup. Hermon's defense has just been swarming, and they're just not letting any of these players on offense for Orono breathe.
Yeah, so this past weekend would have been state championship day,
yes.
Right?
So are some of the memories for Hermon playing in the state championship. Of course, remember the Class B game. Really good one between Maranacook and Caribou going into overtime as well. So are some video highlights from a year ago. Fast break going the other way. Hermon gets that one up and in, and Faith Coombs does get that bucket. She has her first of the contest and extends the lead up, more so for the Hawks.
Faith had her mask come flying off. Now, I got to say, we've done a lot of games. That was only the second player I've seen lose their mask in a game.
kudos to not only the athletic departments, but the players for dealing with this, which is not something they could have foreseen a year ago.
No.
But they've played and accomplished all this in stride, basically. Another drive in here for Orono.
It's amazing how human beings and especially young people adapt.
LeBrie with another basket here. She has 4 points in the quarter, 7 overall. Now 10 points on the board for the Orono Red Riots.
Except for Jay Baines, our director. Very rigid.
3-point attempt for Coombs is off the mark. It'll be going to Orono with just over 100 seconds left on the first half clock. LeBrie will check out. Back into the contest will be number 15. Actually, seeing her first time will be number 13, Ellie Pierce, back in the contest. Beg your pardon. Here comes Orono trying to set their offense up. Looking for Pierce, who just checked back in the game. That'll be a little bit too long and into the possession of Maddie LaBelle. Good trail pass and then passing underneath.
Wow.
Little mid-range jumpers buried with ease by Wyman.
Yeah, Hawks really clicking. When you see the type of passing and the unselfishness by this team, I mean, nobody's getting greedy out there, and all the shots that Hermon is taking are good ones.
Hermon on the season's averaging 43 points per game, and they're almost at that mark in the first 15 minutes of this contest. Coombs to Gallup, back to the top, swung around. Here's the LaBelle three from the wing. Could be a tad too long. Rebounds pulled down by Orono, who's on the break. Pass is a little too long. Gallup picks it up. Wyman cross court, but that one's going to be intercepted like a Stephen Gilmore pass. Actually, I'm trying to think a pass more like a Tim Tebow back in the day. Trying to work it in. Instead, it's going to be knocked out of bounds. Intended for Sapiel. Aaliyah just checking in the game for Orono, seeing her first action with 33.6 left on the clock. Orono will inbound the ball underneath their own bucket.
I mean, Tebow's patented pass was that little jump pass, right? I mean, that's basically all he could do.
He's retired from all sports, too, as Coach Donato will call a timeout.
Thank you, Tim. Give some at-bats to some other worthy young players.
For outdoor power equipment from John Deere, Steel, Honda, Ariens, and more. See the Smith Brothers at Greenway Equipment Sales in Ellsworth and Bangor. Proud sponsor, one of our proud sponsors here for basketball on Ticket TV. Also another one, Coastal Auto Parts. They're a proud local owner of Napa Auto Parts stores throughout the state of Maine. They're pleased to sponsor this high school basketball game. 33.6 seconds on the clock. We see a little spotlight on Elizabeth Wyman. Chicago Bulls, not one you often see here in the state of Maine, but it's a pretty good franchise back in the day. A lot of soccer fans as well.
Now, Elena Deladon, she played at Delaware, right? Okay, see, I know my women's basketball. I got to get up to date on Paige Becker at the UConn.
You'll get
number
there.
one team in the country. I do know that. It's a pretty safe guess most years.
Maine women's basketball team doing well. They'll do battle in the semifinals this weekend. A lot of great basketball on the women's side throughout the country this year. Just over 20 seconds to play. Orono trying to get one more basket before the break. Here's Pierce, the up and under. Mid-range jumper is good. Nice nifty move there for Ellie Pierce.
Yeah.
That's her first basket of the contest. 12 points now for Orono. Hermon swinging the ball with precision passing once more. Results in a three-pointer from Coombs. Front rimmed, off the mark. And time will expire in the first half. But a resounding first two quarters in the books for the Hermon Hawks as they jump out to a 41-12 lead with 2 quarters remaining. The Hawks just doing everything right from passing to shooting, defensive pressure. It's been Hermon's ball game throughout.
Yep, playing well down the stretch, and they've carried that good play right into this first postseason game here in 2021. And shooting well, passing the basketball well, doing an outstanding job defensively, a number of steals for the Hawks. And when the Red Riots have been missing shots, the Hawks have been there to clean up on the glass as well.
Well, as you know, here at the break, the Dean's Detailing has been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1971. You deserve a clean car. I know it's dirty out there. Clean your car right by calling 945-3016 or visit them at deansdetailing.com. We'll take a break here at the half where the score is 41-12, Hermon over Orono in this quarterfinal matchup as you're watching high school basketball on Ticket TV. Back at Hermon High School where the score at the half, 41-12, as Hermon has come out to a resounding start to this contest. Brian Stackpole and Jim Churchill here on Ticket TV. We appreciate you joining us this afternoon and heading in towards the evening in the first game of our twin bill on Ticket TV. Well, let's see some of the first half highlights from the action that was. And it's going to be a lot of Hermon because they were getting it done all over the court here tonight.
Yeah, Maddie LaBelle, first bucket of the ball game, a 3 from the left side.
Here's another one from Sinclair. Early on, Orono was doing a good job keeping Hermon at bay, but then the Hawks stepped on the gas pedal.
Yeah, part of the reason Jade Lehman, she had a couple of jumpers from that right baseline, that one from the right wing. Here she is from that right corner. Good form. And the passing was so impressive. Megan Tracy didn't have to pass here. She just turned and fired.
Again, great feeds in throughout the court and play. And Gallup right here using her body to shift up and through and perfect precision on the angle.
And no fear there going in amongst a bunch of Red Riots. And here's Hannah Sinclair hitting that jumper just beyond the free throw line. And here's that lead pass from Jade Lehman to Wyman. She picked it up and she knew what to do with it.
Sometimes that's the hardest play to make, is those open looks where you got a head of steam. But again, it's a nice soft touch for LaBrie. She also has hit one from beyond the arc in this contest for Orono.
Wyman from about 10 feet there, hitting that J from the right side. And just some of the first half highlights.
Resulted in 41 points for Hermon, 12 for Orono in this quarterfinal matchup as the number 2 seeded Hawks leading the way right now versus the number 7 Orono Red Riots.
And well, we have a moment here at the half. Let's meet another Hawk. And it will be Faith Coombs, number 2, hometown Hermon. Now, Faith. You're a wonderful player, stupendous person, but somewhere things have gone wrong. I'll blame it on her father or her grandfather or something. But she's a New York Yankee fan. Derek Jeter, classy player. We obviously, as Red Sox fans, weren't huge fans of his, but can't go wrong there. Favorite class subject, math. Also a big fan of mac and cheese. Are you a fan of mac and cheese, Stack?
I'm a big fan of pizza, mac and cheese, anything I can make quick. My culinary expertise is very limited, so that's mac and cheese is up my alley.
And interesting, softball and golf next to basketball, our favorite sports. And this is cool. Bus rides with the team, bonding with the teammates.
We see that a lot from Hermon. Not only a basket made from a teammate is one of the favorite memories for one of the players, but also the camaraderie out there, which is good to see. One of the reasons why Hermon has been such a successful team and currently leads in this one 41-12 over Orono. We'll be back with more when we return to high school basketball action on Ticket TV. Back at Hermon High School, just a couple minutes away from starting the second half of game action here. Gives us a chance to go over some of the stats that we have in the books. Orono, as they have 12 points up on the board, they're trailing in this one 41-12. They have 4 points. 6 points, I should say, for Chloe LaBrie leading the way. Hannah Sinclair with 4 points, the second leading scorer for this team. Ellie Pierce hit a bucket in that second quarter to round out the scoring for the Red Riots, who are hoping for a better second half than the first half so far. On the other side, Hermon, though, 15 points for Jade Lehman, just a sophomore, and she has really found her form with this Hermon side since sort of gelling with this team, but has resulted in that 15 points, 13 of which came in the first quarter of play. 7 points as well for Sydney Gallup. We've got 5 points on the board for Maddie LaBelle, 4 for Liz Wyman, and then, 3 each for Allie Cameron and Charlotte Karen, and 2 for Megan Tracy and Faith Coombs to round out the 41. Don't check my math because you never know if it's going to be on. I was not a mathematics major, more so in the broadcast journalism field, but that results in the 41 points roughly for the Hermon Hawks in this contest.
And why don't we take a little time here to meet another Hawk. And this time it's Lexi Lehman, the older sister of Jade Lehman, number 4 in white here in this ball game. Favorite team? These things are very interesting. Green Bay Packers. And we talk about the selfless Hawk team. It's all about her sister, Jade Lehman,
right.
Her favorite athlete. Now, this is impressive. Finance. Favorite class subject, finance. And she also likes the rice from Kobe. Next to basketball, her favorite sport is softball. And her favorite basketball memory, once again, senior night.
Senior night, yeah.
Okay?
Not often do you see an older sister look back at her younger
Right.
sister as a favorite athlete. But that's, again, the selflessness on this team.
Right. Now, we're going to salute Lexi later on because senior night, she would be in the spotlight because
Right.
she's the only one.
Right.
So I can see why she likes senior night. It's all about Lexi.
Absolutely. And it's all about the Hawks in this contest so far. It's been a big-time performance for Hermon so far in this matchup, but it's good to see postseason basketball, Jim. I know there was some doubt whether or not basketball would even be played here in the state of Maine. They were able to put up together a plan. They've implemented it. All the players and coaches and the athletic departments have done a wonderful job, and now we get a postseason tournament, and it's on display here today.
Yeah, and talk about a team effort, and this is what it takes, and why it seems now still a long way to go that we're making progress is because it's been a team effort both here in the Bangor area, state of Maine, New England, the country, but we need to keep that team effort going, and certainly getting this high school basketball season in, getting to the point where we're playing some playoff games in these regional pods is just very exciting, and kudos to everybody involved, especially the players and coaches and the ADs and all the support they get from their local communities and schools, the parents. It has been a team effort, and it's just great to see. Before we get to the second half here, Brian, just want to mention we do have that second game coming up roughly around 7 o'clock right here at Hermon High School. Old Town against Hermon. That's number 5 against number 4 in the seedings on the B side in this region. And then on Thursday night, we'll be in Brewer for Nokomis at Brewer on the A side. That is number 3 against number 2. And we'll have more action on Friday and Saturday as well for you right here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket and Ticket TV.
Some great action for you right here across the various platforms. 41-12 our score. Orono out of the gate with the balls. They'll flip sides. They'll be going now towards the left hoop here across your screen. Still a lively atmosphere even without fans as the inbound pass is going back to Jade Lehman. Again, more kudos to the players out there, even on the bench, being vocal. The precision passing again on display. Tracy misses the first one, then it's swatted away, and Sinclair comes out with it for the Red Riots.
Yeah, the other night we had Bangor and Brewer, and they were playing for the number 1 seed on the boys' side in the Class A part of this region, and their benches were loaded up. I mean, they had brought a lot of players up. The benches were full. It was very spirited. We could only imagine what it would have been like there with fans in the stands, but still, it was a lot of fun. Bangor eventually winning in overtime in that one.
Did you ever get a cutout of yourself on any of these various
I
gymnasiums?
did not. My
No?
parents have a cutout there, but none for me. I really shouldn't be there, Brian. I'm a
Right. I didn't want to scare
unbiased
people. Yeah, with my cutouts.
broadcaster.
Labrie gets that one. Looks like it might have been deflected by Gallup on the play. Tracy also in the mix. Here comes Jade Lehman. A little up and under. A little too hard off the glass. It'll result in a rebound pulled down by Pierce for Orono.
Well, she's not perfect.
Nice pass in. Labrie cleans it up for 2.
Pretty good little spurt here for the Red Riots at the outset of half number 2.
Labrie up to 8 points to lead the way for the Red Riots. Here's the almost, it is going to be a takeaway. Walston comes out with it for the team in maroon. They'll cross the half-court line, and a timeout will be called on the court. Gives us a chance to let you know that this game is presented by First National Bank. Dream first because you can. First National Bank member FDIC, equal housing lender. You see again, beautiful pass here for Orono. Works its way underneath. Nice jump catch and a finish.
Yep, good court awareness, good vision, looking up court, finding a wide open teammate. We do see some players, get focused on that basketball and the handle, not looking up court, but not the case right there for the Red Riots.
So after the quick timeout, Orono will start things back underway here with the ball just to the left side of the half-court line. Here's the drive in, the dish back out. Pierce with it now to Walston. She dribbles across the top of the key. Here's the three-pointer. It's up, just off the mark. Good effort there from Sinclair. Now here come the Hawks. Lehman flies down the court. Pass over. 6:22 as Cameron has a little misplay there. Is able to re-corral it right around midcourt.
Got a 6-0 run here for Orono, correct?
I believe so. But that's going to be squashed there by none other than Jade Lehman, who's now up to 18 points after that trifecta.
Right on cue. Jade Lehman gets back into the act here for the Hawks. It's her second three.
Yep, second three-pointer. Had one back in the first. The ball batted back around on an errant pass, but it's re-corralled there by the Orono Red Riots, and Alyssa LaBelle now with it. Orono lobbing it in. Sinclair gets it over, swung around. Beautiful passing there to work around that. Sapiel with her first points.
Nice wraparound pass after the offensive work there by Hannah Sinclair. Wrapped it around a couple of defenders, finding Sapiel open on the left side of the basket.
And then another block underneath. Good effort here from Orono as they blocked Megan Tracy's shot. And that was Sapiel once more.
I don't know what John Donano said, but his charges have come out here for the second half, playing much better. Chance here to pick up some points with the clock stopped.
Free throws coming up. I believe this is the first time they're heading to the line today.
Coach Donato. See the bucket right there for Sapiel. Of course, a longtime coach at Holton High School, had a ton of success there. He was reeling off all the schools he had coached at, before our pregame coaches interview. Messalonsky, Lawrence, Mount View, now Orono. I think that's all five of them.
He's probably forgotten more basketball than I know in my whole life. Good passing. Tracy goes up, counted and one. Old-fashioned three-point play on display for Megan Tracy.
And watch Tracy here, seeing the opening in that lane, seizing upon it, and getting the nice feed, and then powering her way up for 2 points and one.
Tracy's mom, of course, playing in a state championship game and winning it. The one thing she has over her daughter, at least in that regard, both in tremendous players, yeah. Tracy still has another chance and opportunity at that next year, a chance to win possibly this COVID Cup or the Big East Tournament, I guess is what we have heard it called by Athletic Director Dave Utterback. Under 5 to play in the third quarter. It's 47-18. Orono trying to chip again away at the deficit. Pierce being guarded closely by Jade Lehman. Then Allie Cameron will swat it out of bounds.
I mean, Big East does sound much better, more powerful.
I hate
big in anything. I mean,
I hate remembering the COVID Cup. You don't want to give COVID the credit in the cup, but it does describe it quite well.
Want to be aware of it, understand it.
Nice lob in, up and in. Another basket for LeBrie, and what a pass on the inbound to get the two.
Precision pass there, and Chris Cameron has seen enough. He wants a timeout to talk things over with his team.
See this lob again.
Wow. And a good job there by LeBrie, too, to present, put that left hand up, show the target, and the pass right on target there for the Red Riots.
I'll let you know that Northeast Driving School is Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. Visit their new location at 360 Harlow Street in Bangor or register today at northeastdrivingschool.com.
Time to meet another Hawk. Ashley Cody, number 14, hometown, Levant, Maine, and favorite sports team, Golden State Warriors. I knew that would be followed up with Steph Curry, and why not? Favorite class subject, junior ROTC, and she is a big fan of those breadsticks at Olive Garden. Also, likes soccer outside of basketball, and winning the championship in the North last year, her favorite basketball memory.
You wonder if they win this whole thing and they come out on top when this whole tournament's done, if they might celebrate with some of those breadsticks.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
just have a breadstick party.
Another steal for Orono. They've looked much improved, prompting that timeout just a second ago by Coach Cameron. Alston will throw that one away, trying to get it underneath. Hermon trying to stop the run. It will be a foul underneath. A couple of different Red Riot players were in the mix. Be the second foul on Orono with this half. They're going to charge that one to Alyssa LaBelle. Actually, no, it's going to be... They put 5 up on the clock. I heard Pierce on the PA. Nonetheless, we're back underway. Hermon trying to get some more points on the board. Tracy's pass, Gallop into the lane, off the rim. Rebound by Tracy, off to the right side. That's going to be a rebound there by Pierce.
Well, kudos to the Red Riots. A pretty solid quarter so far. I believe they've outscored Hermon 12-6 so far, but they give it up right there.
Lehman drives towards the basket, too hard off the glass. Rebound pulled down by Gallop. LaBelle swung around. Cameron drives in. A little too high of a bounce, and that's going to be steps, as it'll be a turnover on Hermon.
Yeah, she made a great move outside, out near that arc to get in tight to the basket, but then lost control of the dribble. That threw her off and resulted in a turnover.
Just 5 points for Hermon so far in this quarter, as we're down to 3:33 left on the clock in the third quarter. They work into Labrie. Little jumper, almost goes through. Still batted back. Last touch by Gallop for Hermon, so it'll stay with Orono.
I know the shot did not go down, but a pretty good looking jump hook right there by Labrie.
Yeah, she definitely has some talent. Chloe's a junior center, averaging 7.2 points per game entering this contest. Ball inbounded, reset there. LaBelle drives in a little bit, still beyond the perimeter. Pierce now drives in the lane, untouched, uncontested. That one a little bit off the mark. Rebound Lehman, passes to Cameron, a little too long on the pass, but will stay with, actually no, it's going to go to Orono instead.
Yeah, a little 3-on-2 break there for the Hawks. Unable to execute that time, but certainly in the first half, just about everything was clicking for Hermon.
Orono with the ball again into Sinclair. Trying to spin, being guarded closely by LaBelle. Then back out beyond the perimeter. Here's the LaBelle for Orono with it. Now out to Walston. Drives in, and she'll be fouled. And that'll be foul number 4 on Hermon. I'll let you know this game brought to you by Downey's Toyota, your all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive headquarters on Wilson Street in Brewer. All roads lead to Down East. Quick inbound pass. Here's the drive-in, up off the glass, too strong. Rebounds pulled down. Now here come the Hawks. Worked underneath, reverse layup. If that goes, what a play.
Wow. Talk about an athletic move there by Jade Lehman. Got caught directly underneath the basket, but she did not hesitate, went to the reverse, extended that right arm, and flipped it up with just the perfect touch.
That takes so much practice and talent to be able to execute, but she did it with relative ease. Then the shot from Orono. We'll see it again. I could never do this in a million years, Jim.
Again, the great passing by Hermon.
Doesn't even hit the backboard. Just a tick below 50 points for the Hawks so far in this contest. They'll try to get it over. Won't do it on that attempt. Lehman on the rebound after Tracy misses the one from the elbow. Orono now out with it as they'll try to get some points. The final less than 2 minutes on the clock. Still 8 minutes to play after the horn sounds to finish off quarter number 3. But Hermon right now rolling, even though they struggled a little bit more so in this third quarter than the prior two. They try to work it in underneath. Batted away, knocked out. Lehman with Gallop going 2-on-1. And 2 is the apropos number in another basket there. Gallop is up to 9 points now.
Yeah, so many weapons on this Hermon team. It's hard to focus on any one player. Certainly Lehman has been the star in this one, but so many other players contributing to the Hermon cause.
Little tie up here, and it'll favor the Hermon Hawks. This Hermon team has been competitive in matchups, even stepping up against Class A and Class AA schools. They were in the mix versus the Bangor Rams and the Hamden Academy Broncos. Of course, they also have to fend off the Old Town Coyotes, who have looked like a very good side, too, just up I-95. Here's the drive in. LaBelle can't get it to go. Rebounds pulled down and one. Here comes the Red Riots. They work it in. Sapiel will lose that one out of bounds after a good effort from Pierce on the other side of the court. 43 ticks left on the clock in the third quarter. 31-point lead for Hermon. Hawks work the ball in the corner. LaBelle out. Here's a three-pointer. In and out for Jade Lehman. A rare miss for her in this contest, as she's been basically money every time she's shot. Orono dealing with some backcourt pressure. Broken into Sapiel. Up, and it's blocked. Sydney Gallup swatting it back away, Dikembe Mutombo style. And with 18.7 seconds, it'll be an inbound underneath the Orono basket. Looking for some help. They'll finally get it in. It's over to Pierce. Pierce will reset. 15 seconds on the clock. She'll drive in, being guarded by Lehman. Dishes it back out to her teammate in Murray, who's in the contest for the first time. She'll miss that jumper in the lane. Hawks trying to get some more points on the board. LaBelle swings it. Gallup can't get it off in time, but 3 quarters in the books. It's a 51-20 score. Hermon on top in this matchup over Orono in the first quarterfinal of this Big East Cup.
Stay right here, Brian, during the quarter break. And just a quick look at the other matchups in Girls Class B here in the Big East Pod. The winner of this game is going to be taking on the winner of MDI against WA, the Washington Academy Raiders. They're going to play tomorrow at 6:30. And the semifinal game will either be Friday or Saturday, so we'll get the final word on that. We may have these Hawks in that semifinal matchup. On the other side of the bracket, it's number 1 Old Town. They've been very impressive. You saw them against Bangor a few nights ago and came up just short in that one against a very good Ram team. They're going to be playing host to the Foxcroft Academy Ponies this evening, and also playing right now John Baps at Ellsworth.
It's really good girls basketball action here in this little pod. Again, unfortunately, we aren't able to see some of the teams up north this time around, but still, it's been quite an impressive effort from all the teams out there, playing very competitive games, even going across 2 different classes. Well, we're back underway here in the fourth. Brian Stackpole, Jim Churchill on Ticket TV. We appreciate you joining us here. It's Labrie in underneath, back out. 3-pointer, Sinclair, off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Wyman. For your outdoor power equipment needs from John Deere, Steel, Honda, Ariens, and more, see the Smith Brothers at Greenway Equipment Sales in Ellsworth and Bangor. That one swatted out of bounds, last touch by Hermon, so it'll be Orono basketball with just 21 seconds off the clock in the fourth. Seen a good mix of players from both teams. I see Coach Donato went to his bench a little bit before the end of the third quarter. We'll see probably more of that as we progress. Pierce drove in for a second, then back out. LaBelle, good passing around the top of the key for the Red Riots. This one swatted away. It's going to be saved there. Ralston with it. Cross-court pass as they'll reset right around midcourt. Drive in there, Pierce looking for some help. Won't find it. We'll find Faith Coombs, however, who gets the steal. Coombs to LaBelle. Looking inside to Tracy. Instead, he'll swing it all the way around. Karen into Wyman. Now LaBelle looked for a 3-pointer, but that one's off her right hand and out of bounds.
Boys Class B in this region, the number 1 team, your alma mater, Brian, the Ellsworth Eagles.
Without a senior on the roster, too, which is pretty impressive.
Very talented young team. They're hosting MDI tonight at 7:15. MDI did get him earlier in the season.
That's a tough one to have out of the gate, a rivalry matchup in the postseason.
And then, of course, we've got the Hermon Hawks hosting the Old Town Coyotes coming up right after this one. On the other side of the bracket, playing right now, number 2 Orono Boys hosting the Foxcroft Academy Ponies in Orono. And coming up here very shortly, WA hosting John Babst.
Again, some more great matchups in that Class B pod. Class A is going to be interesting as well. And again, we'll crown a champion overall when all is said and done, which is something unique. I don't know what you think about it, Jim, but would you like to see the Class A, Class AA schools play some of these smaller schools too once you got champions, or do you like it the way it is?
I wouldn't mind, and again, we got AA that kind of screws things up, but I wouldn't mind A playing B and C playing D. I think that's a fair fight, so to speak. But you start mixing A with D, I mean, people don't understand just how big a difference it is.
This one almost banked home. Labrise had some good, nifty footwork underneath. But then here's the pass, the precision one once more as LaBelle will get that one up off the backboard for another 2-point bucket.
Yeah, again, a very diversified offense. If the Hawks have the opportunity to run, they're going to take advantage of it, but also very good in the half court.
Another takeaway. Faith Coombs comes out of it. Walston was dealing with some of the pressure. Lyman with it. Back out. LaBelle tries to get into Tracy. Does eventually do so after the high bounce. Now the wing three. It's good. Karen, another three-pointer for her.
Yep, Charlotte hanging out, on that left wing. Again, Hawks finding the open player. And this time it was Charlotte Karen from long range.
Second three-pointer today, 6 total points. Another three-pointer, this time from Orono, and that one's a beautiful shot from LaBelle, who buries it.
Yeah, found herself open there outside the arc. She said, why not?
Under 5 minutes to play in this one. Ball being swung around. Karen this time for the other side of the court. Now LaBelle tries her hand at a three-pointer. That one's going to be just a tad short. Here come Walston and the Orono Red Riots trotting down the court. Now a three-point shot on its way off the back rim. Rebound from Tracy, long pass. She's able to get back to her teammate. Now reset. Lyman thought about the elbow jumper instead, tries to drive in, going against a couple of different Red Riots, and will draw the foul on the play. So 2 free throws coming up from Lyman here.
See Meg Tracy right there on the right side of the lane, watching her teammate take the free throw. Take a closer look at Megan Tracy from Levant, favorite sports team, the Lakers. Favorite athletes, Maddie LaBelle and Chris Cameron. Chris Cameron? What is that? College chemistry. Favorite subject, she loves ice cream. Favorite sport other than basketball, cheerleading. Well, that's cool. And what was that last one? Sitting with somebody.
Is it Grace? Grace Page?
Could be. We're going to solve that mystery here.
I don't have a great memory, but I thought that's what it said.
Very soon.
Score 58-23. A couple new players in there. We'll try to get you abreast of that when we get to it. Here's one of those players, Murray, who's into the contest. Sapiel back in as well, along with a couple starters for Orono. Here's the three-pointer. Almost in for Murray. Knocked back out. Here comes Hermon with the ball. That's Lexi Lehman, the lone senior. Swings it to Faith Coombs. Also in the contest. Actually, I don't have that number 5 for Hermon. The ball's being backed out around. 3:36 left to go. Here's the three-point attempt for Orono. And that one's buried once more. Alyssa LaBelle with a three-point shot. And a timeout will be on the court.
There's your number 5, Stack.
Thank you. Veronica Chichetto, I believe. I didn't have it on the roster, so I was unable to get the pronunciation, but
you know what? She could have made up a favorite sports team. She could have made up a favorite athlete. She was honest. She said,
yeah, I
just don't know. And we like that. Science. Now, strawberries. Now, that is a person that I can relate to. Likes golf and going to Vermont. They must have played some basketball in Vermont. And there is Lexi Lehman. As we mentioned, Green Bay Packers, her favorite athlete is her sister Jade, and really enjoyed senior night. And here's a senior salute to the only senior on this Hermon Hawk team. Congratulations to Lexi Lehman.
Here comes Wyman on the other side. She'll be fouled underneath the basket. More free throws coming up. It's so difficult, too, with everything going on, especially at the senior night. You might be playing basketball your whole career for that one moment and not get really the ideal atmosphere that you were hoping for. But, again, all these players taking in stride, doing a great job. And one of the reasons why you do want to highlight a player like Lexi Lehman for all her efforts throughout her career.
No doubt about it. This season of adversity, I think everybody has approached it with the right attitude and making the best out of a bad situation. Bottom line, as Coach Donato said, they're playing basketball.
Pierce with the rebound, trying to go coast to coast. Pull-up jumper is going to be blocked. I think Wyman got a fingertip on it. Long pass. Swing the ball around. In underneath. Cody with it, and then it's going to be tied up. Good hustle play from a couple different players on both sides of the play on that one with 3:03 left to go. Inbound pass to Wyman. Easy as cake. 2 points.
I thought you were going to go with easy peasy.
I thought about it, but I decided to go with the cake reference. I think it's my penchant for being hungry. Is that one an NBA range three-pointer buried from LaBelle? Ooh. Seen some long three-pointers, but that's her third three-pointer made so far in this contest. She's heating up. I think an NBA Jam, she'd be on fire right now. Quick passing underneath. Cheto can't get that one to drop. Rebounds pulled down. Orono working the ball down the court. I want you to know that Coastal Auto Parts is a proud local owner of Napa Auto Parts stores throughout the state of Maine, and they're pleased to sponsor this high school basketball game. Another foul will be called underneath. So we'll see what Orono can do here, trailing by a 60-29 score.
Ashley Cody's back in the ball game, along with Lexi Lehman, the senior.
This one taken away. Here comes Hermon. Faith Coombs looking to get the bucket. Instead, it's going to be her pocket's going to get picked. Here's the long lead pass in. Pierce off the glass and in for another two. Pierce, one of the seniors, one of the four captains, so it's good to see her get some points in the waning minutes of this one. Another foul will be called on Orono, and that'll send Wyman to the stripe.
Both teams still playing hard. Orono, as things look right now, their final couple of minutes of the season.
First free throw was good for Wyman. Second one is good as well. So now Orono with the ball, under 2 minutes to play. It's been a pretty good second half for them compared to the first, but maybe a little bit too high of a mountain to climb. Spin move. They'll try to get it up. It's instead going to be deflected into the possession of Hermon and into the possession of to Lehman, Lexi. Here's the runner up, bouncing. It looked like it had a chance, but instead will go into the possession of Orono. It's quickly down the court. Once more is LaBelle. Bell driving in. Almost to try to reverse, but the up and under with the right hand is good.
Wow. Looked like she might go with the right hand on the reverse, but just before she got to the other side, reached back with that left hand, the old switcheroo, and flipped it out for two.
Speaking of LaBelle, she's got another chance for points as she's fouled and heading to the line. See that
Watch
play
this.
again.
Woo.
We've seen two great plays on each side of the court now for each side.
Jade Lehman with the reverse for Hermon. And LaBelle got everybody thinking reverse right there.
First free throw is no good. She was, according to my book, scoreless in the first half and in the third quarter. The fourth quarter, she has 11 points. Make it 12, a nice dozen for her.
Stay tuned after the ball game for the post-game report. We'll have the highlights from this ball game between the Red Riots and the Hawks. We'll run down the scoring, take a look ahead to our next game as well, and we'll try to sneak in a post-game interview.
Pass worked around, Wyman off the window and in again. Beautiful passing has continued throughout this one as Wyman with another 2. Under a minute to play, 45 seconds on the clock. LaBelle thought about the three-point shot. Instead gets it over to Emma LaBelle. This one's the drive in. This one's going to be a little too strong. Pierce tried to get another basket. 30 seconds on the clock. Hermon with the ball. Lexi Lehman swings it to Faith Coombs. A little bit of hesitation, and a travel will be called on the stutter step on Cody. .6 on the clock as Hermon, after the next amount of time elapses off the clock, will be moving to the semifinal coming up later this week. Ball being worked around the perimeter by Old Town. They're trailing by 30 points. They work it in. 5 seconds on the clock. It'll be a deep three-pointer. Little short. But at the end, it's going to be all Hermon as they pull out a 30-point win, a 64-34 victory over the Orono Red Riots in this one. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with post-game coverage for you as you're watching high school basketball action on. Back at Hermon High School, where the final score 64-34. Hermon beats Orono to move on to the semifinals. Want to let you know that Dean's Detailing has been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1971. You deserve a clean car. Call them today at 945-3016 or visit deansdetailing.com. We'll have some second half highlights from here in Hermon High School as the Hawks and the Red Riots did battle. It was a pretty resounding lead at the break. Orono looking much improved. LaBelle getting a nice feed in there. The passing more crisp. Jade Lehman again continuing her offensive onslaught in this contest, bearing that three-pointer. Red Riots, though, were able to get some baskets like that one from Sapiel up off the window and in. Hawks precision passing throughout this contest. That one up and in for Megan Tracy. She had the chance for the old-fashioned three-point play on this one. And again, you see this. What an athletic play from Jade Lehman. Just a sophomore, but playing well beyond her years, getting that one up and in. Continuing more so with the three-point prolific scoring from the Hawks. That one was a three-point shot. But speaking of three-pointers, got to give credit where credit is due to LaBelle. Alyssa LaBelle hit 3 three-pointers in that fourth quarter. There's one. Here's 2. This one's from NBA 3 range. And she's just been phenomenal in this contest. And, she did it inside as well, as that one was up and in. And that was pretty good for the Hawks and the Red Riots in this one. But it results in a 30-point victory for the Hermon Hawks. And we have a special guest. It's our Jim Churchill standing by with Jade Lehman.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much. Here with one of the stars for the Hawks, Jade Lehman. And Coach was talking about in the pregame how you guys were kind of clicking towards the end of the season, felt you were playing your best basketball, and certainly you carried it into tonight's ball game here against Orono.
Yes, most definitely. I feel like as we play more games, we gel more together as a team.
And just talk about your night. Obviously, you get off to a strong start, and just compare and contrast those nights when you hit those first couple of shots versus those nights where you have to kind of fight it a little bit.
Well, it's definitely, a little frustrating, but you kind of just have to stay in it, because if you lose your head in it, then that's just the end of it.
And I think one of the things we were most impressed with upstairs was just the passing and how you guys are so unselfish and looking for the open person.
Right, yeah. So a basketball game, there's 5 players on the court. It's a team game. One person can't beat 5 people. So the more passes we get, the more everybody contributes.
And you won't know who you're playing in the next round until tomorrow night, I guess, when MDI is taking on WA, but you got the winner of that. And just talk about this postseason. Obviously, it's different from postseason's gone by, and hopefully different from postseasons coming up next season. But it's kind of fun to have this competition, and eventually there'll be a champion.
Yeah, most definitely. It's definitely a lot different this year than it would be, any other year going to the tournament. But we got to keep the same energy as we would at the tournament.
All right. Well, congratulations on a great game, the win, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you.
All right. Brian, back to you.
Thanks, Jim, and that's Jade Lehman, and we'll go over her final stat line, but she was very, very impressive in this one on way to a 30-point victory for the Hermon Hawks. We'll step aside and have more post-game coverage for you as you're watching high school basketball on Ticket TV. Back at Hermon High School, where the final score is 64-34. Hermon on top, advancing to the semifinal later in the week. They're still waiting to determine who their opponent will be, as that game will be played later. But so far, Hermon will advance to one of the final 4 teams in this Class B pod. But a pretty good game overall. Let's go look at some of the final stats. And we talked about Jade Lehman, 15 points in the first half, 20 points overall for her, as she was just absolutely phenomenal throughout this contest. You got 9 points as well for Sydney Gallup, 11 points for Elizabeth Wyman, who really picked it up late in that contest. Let's see here. 7 points for Maddie LaBelle, 6 points for Charlotte Karen, 4 points as well for Megan Tracy, and 3 points for Allie Cameron, 2 for Faith Coombs, and a very good mix of scoring overall for the Hermon Hawks in this one. Orono,
Pardon me, Brian. I didn't have my mic up. Solid all-around effort, and Jade Lehman obviously leading the way. But you can see the potential in a lot of other Hawks if she's not having a night like she did here tonight.
For the Orono Red Riots, 12 points, all scored in the fourth quarter by Alyssa LaBelle. She hit 3 3-pointers in that fourth quarter of play to lead the way. 10 points also for Chloe Labrie, the senior, as 6 points for Hannah Sinclair, 4 for Ellie Pierce, and 2 for Aaliyah Sapiel. And that rounds out the scoring there for the 34 points for the Red Riots, but their season will unfortunately end for them. They did have a couple seniors on this roster, and they had 2 of them on the roster, and that's Alyssa LaBelle and also, looking here, Ellie Pierce. So they both had very good games in their final one of their high school basketball career.
I want to mention we got a special video we've been using here and there on our broadcasts here on Ticket TV, on the Maine Basketball Hall of Fame and basketball here in Maine. So that is coming up. Also coming up right here on Ticket TV tonight, we've got Game 2 of this doubleheader from Hermon High School as the Old Town Coyotes, the number 5 seed in Class B here in the Big East Regional, going to be taking on the number 4 seed in the Hermon Hawks. That should be a good one. We saw them here earlier in the season. Very competitive contest. It was Old Town winning on the road in their first game of this shortened regular season. So looking forward to that one. And then on Thursday, we'll be back at Brewer High School as the Witches will be hosting Nokomis in an A semifinal. And then we'll have more on our schedule for Friday and Saturday in the next 48 hours. So we're looking forward to more basketball here on Ticket TV. And before we sign off, Brian, I want to give credit where credit is due. Our staff here tonight, Max Pottle on the lead camera, and we got Jessica Archie making her debut on one of our other cameras, and we got Evan Soucy. He's standing by. He's ready to step in for game number 2 as well, representing UTC. And Jay Baines doing a great job directing the show here in this one. And of course, you leading the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But for Jim Churchill, I'm Brian Stackpole saying so long for the first game. Stay tuned for game number 2 coming up between Old Town and Hermon and boys matchup. Final score in this one, though, 64 to, I lost it, 64
39?
to 34.
34.
Hermon on top of Orono in this semifinal matchup as you've been watching high school basketball on Ticket TV.
Basketball in Maine is a dad who sets the net low, then scoops up a child for their first slam dunk.
Hanging off the net.
Basketball in Maine is a pickup game in the park that lasts long after dark. Basketball in Maine is tryouts. Coaches whistle, wind sprints, hustle, dribble, pass, shoot, box out, rebound. Practice 6 days a week, 18 games in a season, and hours-long bus rides back home on a snowy school night. And for the best, basketball in Maine is the tournament. cheerleaders, bands, referees, the fans, Augusta, Bangor, Portland. It's a barn burner, a buzzer beater, a foul shot that hushes the entire auditorium. The half-court Hail Mary that's nothing but net, that brings fans to their feet and then to the rafters. 46 games in 9 days and 4 gold balls. And it means dynasties, some 3, some 6, some 11-year titles. Basketball in Maine graduates to college and beyond to bring us stars who shine bright, brighter than any gold ball locked in a trophy case. Basketball in Maine, the competition that connects communities.